Sup guys, this is the 9th last but one episode of the series Paragon this time. The name Paragon may say nothing for non-native English speakers. Let me explain real quick. A paragon is a person who is regarded as a perfect example of a particular quality or as a model of excellence. And to be honest, they are the same in Guild Wars 1 too. Paragons are the true leaders of the group, their allies look up to them, and with the help of shouts, anthems, chants and refrains they can make any group better, they can make them run faster, they can raise their attributes, raise their armor rating, increase their damage output and more. So Para is a typical supportive character, but they can also do some damage with the help of their spears. To be honest, Paragons look much like the Spartans in the 300 movie, have a shield, a spear and even a similar outfit. They have 4 attributes, the most important is called leadership. For each rank in this attribute, Paragons gain some energy each time any of their shouts or chants are affected by an ally. This is the bread and butter for most Paragon builds, because this ability gives them nice energy gain anytime they activate a shout or chant. Then we have command or motivation. These two groups of skills are mostly shouts, chants, refrains. Generally speaking, skills in this family make allies tougher, make them run faster or even heal them when needed. The last attribute is spear mastery. I guess I don't have to explain much on this one. Spear attacks which deal damage are in this group. However, from the look of their armor you may think Paragons can protect themselves against attacks. Still, their armor is one of the best in the game. With an armor rating of 80 and with a shield, they are the toughest of all professions, in a tie with warriors who have the same base armor. Paragons have only 2 pips of energy regen, so don't try casting high energy spells, you won't succeed. Para's HP is usually in the higher category. They start with the 480 like most of the classes, but usually they need only 1 superior rune and this allows them to have around 500 HP. Typical Paragon weapons are spear and the shield. The shield can be either motivation or command, sometimes even tactics, if the owner invests points in that attribute. Many times I like to use zealous daggers and occasionally zealous sights too, but these are mostly build specific weapons. Maybe high energy staff can be handy if they would die and could use some extra energy after resurrecting. Now let's see what makes the Paragon special. Like I said, they are the masters of supporting their allies. They can reduce the whole group's enemy damage by almost 90%. This is a great advantage on its own, but they can also raise everyone's attribute by 4 in the group. This is so strong that few players can complete even Domain of Anguish, even in hard mode. No cons, no pecans, only with 7 heroes. We can easily say that Paragons have the strongest hero team and one if not the best chance to survive in the endgame areas. They are also masters of building up adrenaline fast, running groups with fallback incoming skills. They can heal quite well with different motivation skills, and let's not forget they can do some damage too while doing their work. In 8-man groups they almost never run out of energy and their armor lets them tank monsters too. On the other hand, they suffer badly in low-man groups because of how leadership works. I've tried a duo Iron Man challenge with my para and many times I was useless because I couldn't benefit much from leadership. In a 4-man group it's somewhat better, but Paragons shine brighter in a 6 or 8-man group. The lack of energy regen and no AoE spear skills makes them bad in solo farming, and even though I show some decent ones, you shouldn't really try solo farming on your para, because I think other classes can do this better than they do. The typical anti-melee skills hurt them of course, and probably their arch enemy is one necro skill called vocal minority. Obviously if you have hex removal heroes this won't slow you down for long, but still a great way to mess with Paragons for a while. Some Paragon builds require no secondary at all, but a few meta para builds can benefit much from secondary professions. Warrior is a good choice. Think of 4 Great Justice, double adrenaline gain for 20 seconds, or save yourselves plus 100 armor for the whole party, or even Soldier Stance. Assassin is also a good one. Dagger spam para has some nice DPS, much more than spear mastery builds. I know this is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Daggers are too deadly these days. And if you wanna have fun with sight mastery skills, Derby secondary is an option, or even Ritualist to have a skill called Vocal Vassagalon, which is a great way to make your shouts longer. The best tip I can give you is to use leadership. Don't just focus on one attribute, but make sure you have enough points invested in leadership too. Some shouts require no energy at all, but adrenaline to use. Those can be great to build up the necessary energy for other skills. Think of save yourselves or even go for the eyes. Also good to know the pets and summoned creatures can also trigger the energy gain. The next tip is about building adrenaline fast. You can use a furious weapon mode, but certain skills like focus dagger or for great justice, spear of fury do it super fast. Very important for paragons, always try to build up adrenaline quickly. This is important in many paragon builds. My next tip is somewhat similar. When your team has almost defeated all enemies, save some adrenaline for the next group. You can start the next fight with save yourselves, for example. This is a good way to help out teammates immediately. Moving on, if you're running certain Refrain builds in a hero team, make sure you display their builds and check if all of them are affected or not. Guys, good to know refrains renew themselves whenever a chant or shout ends on the affected target. If you don't want to spam a shout for a long time, consider giving one of your heroes a similar skill, because the AI knows how to maintain these skills much better than humans do. The next tip is the usual melee skill usage. If you plan using dagger chain builds, give your charge strength of honor or splinter weapon. These two skills can greatly increase your damage output. The latter helps even if you have a spear. Another great tip is to stay somewhat close to your group. Most para skills have an earshot range. This is around the same as the aggro bubble. In order to boost all of your teammates, you must stay in earshot. This is easy to achieve with heroes, but very difficult in a picked up group. You can try telling people to stay close to you, but unlike heroes, humans like to roam freely and don't expect too much from them. And my last two tips: buy Centurion insignias. This gives plus 10 armor while affected by a shout, chant or echo. Also don't forget to wear an appropriate shield, either command or motivation, or even tactics. But if you don't met the required attribute points, you still get an extra 8 armor. Alright guys, get ready for some meta and some fun builds now. Number 1 on my list is the new elite called Heroic Refrain with Assassin Secondary. Plus 4 attributes for the whole party, and not just for a short period of time, but forever if you want. As long as you activate a shout or chant like every 10 or 15 seconds, everyone in your group can have even 20 in their main attribute. Sounds good, right? Now this is not everything, since your para can have 16 dagger mastery too, so he can be as deadly as a primary assassin. You can add There is Nothing to Fear for the damage reduction, Blazing Finale to set fools on fire, and They Are on Fire for even more protection. Great damage and great defense. I wish we could use Save Yourself somehow, but sadly this build requires Assassin and not Warrior Secondary. Some extra attacking speed is necessary for the first build, like a slice of pumpkin pie or a candy, and the next one has Drunken Master, and the third one has Aggressive Refrain to hit fools faster. The Imbagon, a classic old school para build, but they lose that damage they get back from defense. Spam Save Yourself as often as you can with the help of Focus Dagger. When the elite is on recharge, you can have for great justice too. Adrenaline builds are very fast with this build. You can add fallback for party-wide IMS, Spear of Fury, Ebon Battle Standard of Honor for more DPS, or even go for the eyes, which helps the other martial professions or minions too. Almost 90% damage reduction with Save Yourselves, and There Is Nothing to Fear, a true meta supportive build. The next two builds are also dagger spammers, but different elites. Soldier's Fury is the first one. It gives maximum attacking speed and extra adrenaline gains. Very comfy skill. The elite causes minus 20 armor rating sadly, but with proper hero builds and insignias this won't be a problem at all. The Power Is Yours is the second one. Very underrated skill emo. Not only allows continuous dagger spam, but also gives your allies plus 1 energy each time you use the elite. This is a good way to help out coasters and yourself too. Heroic Refrain plus Warrior Secondary allows the use of skills like Save Yourselves, To the Limit, or For Great Justice, boost the whole party with the elite, and maintain Stand Your Ground and the other defensive skills. A very powerful build to keep your group in safety. The next build is a very fun one. On one hand, to buff a full 8-man group you need like 3 minutes and the help of your Beep Necro. On the other hand, every party member gets plus 3 HP regen, 20% blocking chance, increased movement speed, and the chance to set fools on fire. The only skill you have to use is They Are on Fire, Save Yourself, and There Is Nothing to Fear. If you add Anthem of Flame or a similar skill to any of your heroes, you can watch a movie while doing a vanquish. Your heroes will do the job with ease. This build is for those situations when you got to run from point A to point B with a full group use vocal Vasagalon and maintain incoming, make haste, fallback and the other shouts. A great build to run with auto counts or give it to your para hero and shorten your farms with some IMS. Soldier's Fury and Spear attacks. Sadly, spears are not as deadly as daggers are, but have decent single target damage. Use Spear of Fury on fools with a condition to quickly gain adrenaline when necessary, and spam 3 for 5 to lower the enemy's HP. The build offers some damage while keeping skills like Save Yourself and There is Nothing to Fear. The next build focuses on 100 baits and warrior skills. It has great damage on big bold up groups, especially if one of your heroes have Mark of Pain and Splinter Weapon. Try to hit the fools in the middle of a big group to maximize your damage. Derby secondary and sight mastery skills. Focus Dagger, build up adrenaline fast, spam Chilling Victory or Reap Impurities, and go for the eyes as often as you can. The build set fools on fire, skills remove burning and deal additional damage. Soldier Stance, another interesting elite, 75% blocking chance, 33% attacking speed as long as you are affected by a shout or chant. A shout called to the limit triggers the elite and spear skills to cause some DPS. This is what some of us used in 8-man Fissure of Wu Paragon clears, for example. Although Paragons are not as good healers as monks or ritus are, they can do some nice party-wide healing. Song of Restoration heals nicely, Synod of Synergy can help against spikes, and we can use Finale of Restoration for additional heal. The build has some minor damage too, but don't expect much, this is more like a fun healer build. Heroic Refrain and Motivation skills, it has both heal and damage reduction. Sadly these chants have somewhat long recharge times, so you will need other healers in the group, but a great way to play with the new Anniversary Elite and have some healing skills. Like I said, at the pros and cons part, Paragons suffer when it comes to solo farming. In spite of this, here are some solo farms you can try. First on the list is an Underworld Chaos Plains farm. In order to survive the battle, maintain Shadow form and don't forget to activate Song of Concentration before SF. Sadly the Mind Blades have Leech Signet for a couple of years now and it can hit through Shadow form. Use URO Weaklings to reduce enemies damage by 66% and heal yourself with Finale of Restoration. Any type of attacking speed boost is highly recommended. Pi is the cheapest one, but even a sense of celerity can help long term. Not an easy farm, but definitely possible to farm some Actos with this. Another Underworld farm, Smite Colors, are an easy target for almost all professions. Wow Strength, Sand Shards and Grand Zora, a typical Derv build to be honest, but kind of works on a Paragon too. Start the fight with I Am Unstoppable and the Derv enchants, and only aggro one group at a time. Luckily Paragons can farm weight tiers too, maintain Shadow form and Shadow of Distress, use a Zealous Sight of Enchanting to build up energy and spam Go for the Eyes to set fools on fire. This is not the fastest weight tier build, but it works and let Paragons farm coaster fools without taking a sweat. Yaya Bluff's Feather farm is a beginner friendly place. High amount of feathers, low level birds, highly recommended. Maintain Onslaught and Grand Zora and Spike with Chilling Victory, Victorious and Zealous Sweep. Savage the Scalps for even more feathers. So after the solo farms we arrive at the speed clear section. I guess you have figured by now the Paragons aren't your typical speed clearer char. They are mostly used in the Deep, Argos or in Bogrut as an incoming fallback runner. You got to maintain the speed boost and use There is Nothing to Fear before growing big groups. Very simple builds, but at least Paragons are somewhat used in speed clears too. Finally, if you are looking for a true supportive role for a character which is capable of boosting their allies' attributes, armors or providing them damage reduction or heal, then you will love Paragon. Also if you like clearing endgame stuff with only 7 heroes, then Para is a great choice. They have one if not the strongest hero team of all. But if you are more into speed clears or solo farms, there are definitely better choices. Guys, this was my Para guide, hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna do Dervish next, the last in the series. You know, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching and see you next time.